Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to Prime My Media Prime TV. This all eyes and ears have been on the Constitutional Council in Yaoundé, examining files that were rejected at the level of elector. 21 files were examined yesterday and today. The focus was on the file that was pitching Manidem, Yoga faction, and that of Professor Mori.
Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to this other edition of Prime Hour on My Media Prime TV, an edition that is going to focus on the outcome at Cameroon's Constitutional Council today, where the file reported by Manidem Party, both for Professor Maurice Kamto and Yebga were rejected today, to the surprise of so many persons, raising dust across the political sphere in and out of Cameroon. Just to note that so many files have been rejected, but that of resigned Minister Issa Chiruma Bakari was upheld, so he's going to stand for this year's election, as well as that for Honorable Cabral Libi, who was also before the Constitutional Council today. Is going to be participating. Shockingly, that of Ile Zipan was rejected. We're going to be discussing on this and other issues relating to the outcome of Cameroon's Constitutional Council today with our panelists who are with me in the studio tonight. We have Barrister Tamfu Richard, who is a militant of PCRN, the party that is led by Honorable Cabral Libi. He is the boss for the Northwest region of that party. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Kum Leonard, and good evening to all the Cameroonians who are watching this program. It's always a pleasure for me to be on your platform, and I want to share my joy with militants of the PCRN who were also witnessing the matter against the PCRN at the Constitutional Council. We just came out with a victory where the candidacy of our leadership, Honorable Cabral Libi, was upheld. So he's going to be running for the presidential race under the banner of PCRN, and we look forward to selling the vision of the party. You know that this is a politician that has proven his political maturity. He has been very consistent in doing his thing, and this year he has a program, a political program that he intends or wishes to sell to Cameroonians, and we hope that Cameroonians, in all objectiveness, will be voting by the right choice, which is that of Cabral Libi. So I look forward to having fruitful exchanges, and I also wish to extend my sympathy and greetings to Mr. Kedia.
Okay, Kedia, good evening. Glad to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here again once more. Special greeting to everybody on the platform, and especially those at home that have taken their time to watch us as we will be analyzing current political issues that are happening in our nation. Special greetings to the people of Bamising. As I earlier said, it's a pleasure to be here again once more.
Okay. Also with us is Tamai Jarvis. Good evening, Jarvis. We're glad to have you.
Good evening, Mr. Kum, and a special good evening to Mr. Tamfu and Kedia Robert Malanfe. Congratulations to you both. The parties are now officially the parties that we know that are standing in for the presidential election, which means that we look forward to have your parties, respective parties in future, to tell us the manifesto and what they have to offer for Cameroonians to make their secret decision at the day of the ballot. It is a day when many people had expected a lot of expectation at the Constitutional Council. At the end of the day, as they say in French, le pays est debout, and le pays doit rester debout in this period.
Okay, the situation, were you very scared when you heard that your party leader Cabral Libi was taken to the Constitutional Council? We also know that you have undergone so many legal battles before now.
Yes, we're just being very prudent. You know, it has been a very long battle with Robert Kona, where he has been doing everything possible to destabilize the leadership of the party. But since we knew very well that the facts of the case and that the law was on our side, we stood our grounds. We were proving our case in all the instances that he brought us, and the courts were always giving us reason, because, you know, whether you like it or not, the truth is there, and you can never change the truth. So he was just being excited or maybe derailed by some people hiding in the back, trying to bring in or trying to create situations in the party which actually did not exist. So the leadership of the party was not suffering from anything, and we were not surprised that when the file went to a LACAM, we were able to, our candidacy was able to be retained. You know that with Robert Kona, we had won 5 court cases, and in all these cases, the courts were only saying the law, and with the facts that were presented to it. So going to the Constitutional Council, though we were in all confidence, but you know, you will never appear before the Constitutional Council with all the assurance and certitude that is going to be a day. So, but we are happy today that the highest organ of the country has ruled in our favor, and it is but normal that we should rejoice and look forward to maybe engaging ourselves to the field, because the most important thing now is going to the field and convincing Cameroonians on the political program that we have, and we hope that that is what it will be. So with respect to our position at the level of the Constitutional Council, we were not afraid, we were confident, knowing that we are in the state of law and that the Constitutional Council will not tell us the contrary. So we are only grateful for that, and we look forward to brighter days ahead.
Okay, Robert, your candidate also was taken to Natela, actually wanted the invalidation of the candidacy of President Paul Biya, amongst others. There are also, I'm sure, 3 or 4 of them who wanted his candidacy invalidated. Should you also count yourself lucky and celebrating that President Paul Biya's candidacy was upheld?
Of course, 100%. You know, all that was just an evidence to show the world that, of course, there is internal democracy in our party. And of course, we saw the liberty, and everybody had the right to express his opinion and the right to their own desire for the position actually that they wanted. But of course, we have the Constitutional Council that is also there to look at the law and do what is right. And of course, for us in the CPGM, it was not even a problem, because the President of the Republic is the chairman of the party, and the law says that the presidential candidate is the chairman of the party. And when Mr. Onana decided to present his own candidacy, it was not even a problem to us, because we know that the law says that one of the documents to be presented is the document that has to do with nomination or presentation of candidate by a political party. And we all know that that document is either signed by the president of the party, and if the president of the party is a candidate, then it is signed by the vice president or the secretary general. And in the case of the CPDM, Mr. Onana, who presented his document, it was never signed by any party hierarchy, so it was normal that it would be rejected. And of course, with Chapter 1, Section 116 of the Electoral Code is very, very clear, which says that the president is elected for 7 years and has the right for re-election. So it was just normal that per the Constitution, the candidacy of President Paul Biya would definitely have no problem with regards to ELECAM and of course the Constitutional Council. So to us, it was not really a big problem, because both the law, internal rules of our party favored President Paul Biya, and of course the law of the Electoral Code still favors President Paul Biya. So the Constitutional Council just did what is right, and that's why we appreciate that organ for carrying out justice.
Okay, you appreciate it. The CPDM says they are very happy. PCRN is also happy. I'm sure the militants of FSNC, but those of Ile Zipang as well as the guys of UPC may not be too smiley towards the Constitutional Council.
Of course, it is normal that they will not smile at the Constitutional Council, like Barrister Tamfu said, that when you are going to the Constitutional Council, you can never be too sure about yourself as far as the deliberations are concerned. Remember that we can only give political explanation, but issues about the interpretation of the law has no sentiment, has no emotion, and has no feeling. It remains what it is, and it is written in clear terms English. For example, there's also something that we as analysts don't see, the spirit behind the law, because when a law is given, there's what we call the spirit behind the law, or the intention behind the article. What was the spirit behind what was given? So if you look at the outcome of the Constitutional Council, some Cameroonians may not be happy by the emotionally, and of course they have their right, because we are in a democracy. We are in an area where if you feel not happy, you have a right to peacefully say that I'm not happy. However, there are some inconsistencies that also we may want to ask some few questions as far as the Constitutional Council is concerned. If we look at some cases which have been thrown out, and one thing that also caught my attention as far as the Constitutional Council is concerned is the issue about that of the Manidem party, how it was handled, because we saw how the lawyers of Jeloni Yebga asked a question that if the candidacy, if Professor Maurice Kamto of his faction of Anisene Kane is claiming that he has been validly invested by the party, let him show his card, his membership card, to show that okay, he's a member of Manidem party. And that was a moment where it caught a lot of attention for people that, hey, but truly, let us see the card. And till date, we haven't seen the card. It was not presented before the court. It has also not been presented, and that goes a long way to say that, in as much as we are sentimental, or some people are sentimental that they have not, the justice was not done, it was not done. I think that it is also good for us to understand that the Constitutional Council remains supreme, as it has given its verdict. There is no way again you can go and challenge it. It's like the Roman Catholic priest who say, "Go in peace, the masses, and they glorify the Lord by your life." And there's one thing that has also made us to understand about the issue about self-integration, and also the issue about full independency. Before the Constitutional Council went into session, a lot of rumors online that France and America have called on the constitutional government of Cameroon to reinstate Professor Maurice Kamto, and that was the information we're seeing on social media. And I said in one corner that if it is true, and if the government acts, or if the name is reinstated based on that pressure, there are two things: either one, we are not fully independent; two, either or not, something is wrong. And it has been proven that the Constitutional Council is independent, because all the pressure from where I read from, maybe some credible blogs, some people that I thought were credible, that though France and America have said that, but at the end of the day, it was irrecevable, non-fondé. And it goes also a long way to explain that of UPC. That of UPC, you understand, Bayebek is very angry because he said before the Constitutional Council that if this matter is not resolved, it means that the UPC will still have 4 presidents, and the UPC will also present several candidates at the municipal and legislative election, and the issues will still continue. There's something that the Lekam lawyer said, which I'm sure that this is a learning process for all of us. The Lekam lawyer has said that when it comes to the issue of internal dispute within the party, it is not the Constitutional Council to settle the internal dispute within the party. These are issues that Cameroonians should know. It is not emotional. It's not an issue of emotion. Once a party has internal dispute, it is not the Constitutional Council that settles the internal dispute. You may say, oh, it's a Constitutional Council. It's not. Each party has its constitution that is sacrosanct to the party, which is based on their elected General Assembly. And then when they come with their elected General Assembly, they set their bylaw. All they do is they send that bylaw now to the MINAT, and they send it to the senior division officer, who keep it for the sake of administrative issues, to say that, okay, we have recognized that this is what you people sent. And there's something that many people fail to understand. I pointed out it yesterday, and I want to repeat myself here on it. People are saying that, oh, the Constitutional Council was not just. There's an element, but Mr. Tanfu is a lawyer. He may, if I'm wrong, he may disagree with me on this. If a candidate is to be appointed, or if a candidate is voted at the level of the elected General Assembly, administratively, this is how the procedure is done. The party sent a letter to the SDO requesting to organize a public gathering. An approval is given. Once they have the elected General Assembly, the minutes of that elected General Assembly, alongside with the people that were elected, and the signatures are all sent, copied. A copy is sent to the senior divisional officer. A copy is sent to me now to say that these are the new members that we have elected based on our constitution. If anything goes wrong, hold them responsible. If I'm wrong, Barrister will correct me. Correct. And in the reverse order, if you are to also to resign, because there's a difference between a member and a leader of a party. If you are also to resign, because at the moment they lost to recognize you as the head of that party.
But those are internal issues.
No, I'm just.
No, those are internal issues that the Constitutional Council did not get into. Yes, they looked at. They based their decision on the plurality of endorsements. That is what Elekam based on, and Elekam also even made a submission yesterday that it is not the place of the Constitutional Council to look into the internal rankings, and I am sure that is the reason why your candidate, because Conan was coming to justify internal issues.
The qualities.
Yes. So
did not fulfill the qualities to seize the Constitutional Council.
Okay, let us take this first report from our Central Region Bureau Chief Bo Elvis to give us the first picture of how things worked out at the Constitutional Council today. Okay, seemingly it is
Kamto of the Manidem party will not stand in the upcoming presidential election. That is a verdict of the Constitutional Court today under the leadership of Justice Clement and Tangana. The highly awaited verdict, which brought a lot of security measures around the capital city, was handed down today afternoon in Yaoundé. The atmosphere became immediately calm and the courtroom became almost empty as fans, well-wishers, militants of Manidem party and sympathizers from the CRM political party came in their numbers to support or to get the verdict of the Constitutional Council. The bone of contention has been between Professor Kamto and Jodone Yebga. Professor Kamto, a former militant of the CRM political party, recently resigned and joined the Manidem political party. Jodone Yebga, who was fired from the party in 2018, came back and wanted to be a presidential candidate. The matter was brought to the electoral board. The electoral board rejected all the two candidacies. The matter was then brought to the Constitutional Council. At the level of the Constitutional Council, Justice Clement and Tangana has always made it known that the Constitutional Council does not look into the internal rules and regulations of political party. So they do not look into internal rules and regulations, and so anything related to multiple nominations is outrightly rejected by the Constitutional Council.
À l'unanimité des membres, après en avoir délibéré, joint les recours au 22 et 25. Même recevable. Donne acte à M. Kamto du désistement du recours numéro 18. Les autres recours recevables en la forme. Au fond, les rejette comme non justifiés. Laisse les dépenses à la charge du trésor public et ordonne les autres mentions habituelles.
So that is the verdict we got. Professor Maurice Kamto's candidacy has been rejected alongside that of Jodone Yebga. At the level of the Manidem political party, as well as the APC coalition, which wanted to support the candidacy of Manidem, it did not come as a surprise, because when you see the way the town was heavily militarized this morning, one would have expected that this kind of scenario was being prepared. Leaving the courtroom, supporters of Manidem, as well as militants of the CRM political party, were visibly very tense and not in a good mood, as that was not what they expected. Professor Maurice Kamto got into his car and left without a word to the press. They have promised that the next steps will be made known in the days ahead, because Professor Maurice Kamto, as they say, is ready to ensure that change comes to Cameroon this year. Right here at the Constitutional Council, for my Media Prime Television, Bo Elvis reporting.
Thank you very much, Bo Elvis. That was a stunner to Cameroonians. The core case, anticipating a clear verdict, has been that of Professor Maurice Kamto. Your first reaction to what Bo Elvis is relating from the Constitutional Council in Yaoundé?
To me, I think all those who are naive But me as a legal mind, I know, because when I prepare my case file, I should be able to determine whether I'm going to have victory or not. I was not too close to the file, but what I could infer is that maybe the file was not properly built, because we all have been seeing the political mistakes that the leadership of that party has been making. And to me, who is also having a political eye, I knew very well that it will not prosper. There have been a lot of political gambling, mistakes, which till date, people are still not recognizing that the leadership could make a mistake and that we can correct our wrongs. This is a party that, I was in that party, so I can really tell you the genesis of that party. A party that went into election in 2013, the legislative and municipal elections, when it formed itself in 2012, that was the first electoral challenge. They came out with some councillors and a parliamentarian, which permitted them to go in for the elections in 2018 without any hitches. 2018 presidential elections, they came out with issues revendicating the victory, saying that the electoral code was not proper. Good, we accept to what you are saying. 2020 local elections are coming, when you know very well that these local elections helped you in 2013. You refuse not to go for the elections. Then how then did you expect to push forward your candidacy? Because the other conditions for you to be a presidential candidate is that you must either go through an independent way, but it requires you having 13 signatures from each of the region, making it 300, making it an impossibility, because most of those persons who are competent to sign will probably be militants of your opponents. They will not want to sign. 2. Now, or having endorsement from another party, still yet making the right choice of taking a party that will carry your candidacy, you still make a very mistake. You go and fall into a party that you know very well that has been troublesome. Let us open our eyes. To me, if you don't build your case well, how do you expect to have victory ahead? The case file was poorly built, poorly arranged, and that is the consequences that we are having today. How did you expect the Constitutional Council to give a favorable verdict when before it has, for example, 2 endorsements? And when we know very well that the Constitutional Council is not a kind of a judge that will go into digging into the facts of internal issues of a political party. So if he sees 2 endorsement letter, it is logical that he rejects both of you and say, okay, go and arrange your internal squab before you come back to me. So to me, I'm not surprised, because I have that legal experience, I have that legal mind. I was able to read the political scene. In our back doors, I said to people that if I was to give an advice to Professor Kamto, I will advise him not to go to the Constitutional Council, because I know very well that he has been very critical vis-a-vis the Constitutional Council. And don't expect that if that setup has not changed, don't expect to get anything, because they know that you are troublesome to them. So he will have accepted a verdict of a LECAM and say, okay, it's already a very bad sign, and then play another role. But you have people who follow him, they say, no, he's a more knowledgeable law person. He knows, he's the very best at strategies. He knows all the political strategies. To me, I am not surprised with what before today. And you know that the Constitutional Council is the last judicial organ, and there is no other thing to do. So just to accept the decision and maybe make an introspection, and then try to position yourself in another way politically.
Yes, are you happy that finally one of your key competitors is out of the race?
You see, immediately after 2018, we started preparing for the election. And there is one thing about the CPDM, we don't underestimate any opposition. You know, when you look at the election of 2018, 1 year to the election, many people were not even talking about Kamto. We were hearing about young Joshua Osei and Cabral Libi, and it was a few months to the election that we heard about Kamto. So you see, this is politics, and we are doing our best. There's a chance for coalition or whatsoever. Mr. Kamto and his party can still decide to form another party. So we really don't look at, we really don't judge in that aspect. All we are interested to do is to prepare for the election very well, and that's what we are doing. You see, with the case of Professor Maurice Kamto at the level of the Constitutional Court, it was a very difficult one, where I think even if he had the best lawyers, it could have still been difficult, because when you look at Chapter 3, Article 122 of the Electoral Code, it really states all documents that is supposed to be presented at the level of ELECAM. You have the non-conviction tax, nationality, the payment of the 30 million, everything was there. But where he had a problem has to do with the document that has to do with presentation and nomination paper. And now, he is in that party. We have a candidate that signed that document. And we also had Yebga. Yebga also that brought into his own candidacy. Now, the problem we have here is that many people say Yebga had left the party, but there is this issue. That case was still in court and a final judgment had not yet passed. Now, let me take another case. When you look at the case of Cabral Libi and the PCRN, you realize that a judgment, the decision of a judicial organ to favor that of a ministry. So in this very case of Professor Maurice Kamto, a decision had not been taken to say this is the final person. The document is still in court, and this is another example I would like to talk about. We had a case in one of the communes in the southwest region where a mayor left and looked for a bigger position, and his deputy was there, but the deputy was not coming to the council. That does not mean that that deputy was not a deputy mayor. Immediately when he left, what does the law say? The law said, well, you have a deputy, even if you thought you had sent him away, but he is still recognized, and that person became a mayor. So this is the same case. People should ensure that when you go to court, even if the case is rejoined and the document kept, know that a final decision had not been taken. So with the case of them, they will say Yebga had left the party, yes, but the case in court, a final decision was not taken. So it became now very difficult now for the Constitutional Council to decide which of them, when the court had not yet taken a final decision. I believe that that is where it was really complicated for Professor Maurice Kamto, that even if he had the best lawyers on earth, a decision is still in court, and the Judicial Council could not take a decision. And when you look at all the other political parties, as I talk about the PCRN, you also have the party of Minister Issa Chiroma, which it is a situation which is not in court. It was just some of the militants revendicating that they don't want him. After the General Assembly. Congress. Yes. So at that level, the Constitutional Council had to take a decision that, okay, fine, with the presentation and the nomination of that party, is it legal? Was it signed by a legal person? Yes. Those that were revendicating against former Minister Issa Chiroma should go to court. But Minister Issa Chiroma could have had a problem if those that stood against him had already gone to court. Because the Constitutional Council at that time will not be able to take a decision, because we should know, it is very clear in Chapter 1, Section 116, that talked about, it is very clear in Chapter 2, Article 117, it is very clear that the duty, the function of the Constitutional Council, they are there to look at eligibility and compatibility. That is their job. They are not there to go now to start judging case inside the party, who is right, who is wrong. They are just there to look at the eligibility. And it was complicated here because the case was not in court. And when a case like that of Maurice Kamto, if a court could have given a final decision, that is where the Constitutional Constitutional Council could have based to take a decision of eligibility. But since it was not done with the case of Maurice Kamto, it became very complicated for him. And he still have another option. The only option former minister and Professor Maurice Kamto has, the only option he has now is to prepare for 2032 election.
No, a candidate may declare that they are not running, citing some serious case situation, and ask for a change of the candidate. There is an aspect I read in the electoral code where there's a possibility to change.
Yes.
If, for example, there's a candidate, for example,
that dies.
Yes, for example, but the candidate has been validated already.
Yes, but it can still change, eh?
Yeah, it can still change.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying that, for example, like PC surrender has been validated. If, for example, the leadership dies, which or becomes incapacitated,
yes,
he can decide to put some other person.
It's
still possible for Manidem.
No, their candidacy has been rejected, so they are not part of the race again. It's for those.
The individual Kamto Maurice.
No, we have passed that stage. We have passed the stage of applications.
He will take part again.
The candidate may decide that, okay, I'm very sick, I cannot run. We are applying to the Constitutional Council for a replacement of our candidate. It is possible.
But that person should be a militant of the party now.
And the rules of resignation and the number of days.
I really would have loved to read that.
It does not have that.
So meaning that, as you are saying, so somebody can just decide and put him.
No, if it's the party.
With proofs.
It's the party that right.
The party says they want to. Anyway,
I have to make some research.
No, I've read that it is very clear. It is very clear. I went through, and you should understand that all these things falls between Article 118 to Article 125, where all these things are there. I know quite all right, and it is even clear in that section of the
electoral code. Talking about a political party.
The party can replace
a validated party.
Yes.
Can replace candidate with any person as long as the party unanimously agreed that
without being a militant of that party.
The law says a party can, for example, let's say your party now decide to write to the Constitutional Council that because our candidate is incapacitated and the candidate also has written want to replace it with Mr. A. The law does not say that Mr. A must be a member of that party.
No. We are getting everything twisted. The law says that they can replace. Yes. But that does not mean that if they replace somebody, the person will not go back again to fulfill all the other requirements.
Yes, exactly.
And when it comes now to all the...
Maurice Kamto already he validates all the requirements. The lone reason, when you follow the
electoral code
lawyer, the lawyer of Elecam yesterday, he stated very clearly that Professor Maurice Kamto's file fulfills all the requirements except for the fact that he decided to use a wrong party. He described the party as a car which is ampan, and that car needs to be taken out of the road. That is how he says it. Which means
Mr. Kum Leonard, I agree with you. For instance, let's take this example. Mr. Joshua can decide today to say that he will not be able because of this. And the SDF will propose, for instance,
a member of the society.
No, they can propose, let's not even use the right name. They can propose Professor Maurice Kamto, right? That is in the law, is correct. But he will still follow the same process that has to do with resigning, presenting this.
I don't know. But I want to get your reaction to the invalidation of the candidacy of Professor Maurice Kamto. We've seen videos of Cameroonians protesting in Belgium, most of whom have been arrested by the Belgian police. The videos are out there. Yes, you have your first reaction.
Like I said before, that this was already in view that it will be rejected. There are two issues here. The party which Professor Maurice Kamto took, like Kida explained here, that party has an internal problem which is still in court, and there have not been a single judgment based on who is the competent leader of that party or not. So you have Jodine Yebga and you have Anise Nekane. And he said Nekane used the reason why he saw himself as legitimate was because the elected Congress was with him and voted Yevga out. So at the moment, but the court still understand that there have not been that clear explanation whether Yevga is a member of the party or not. So the court has not given his ruling. That now becomes an internal issue of the party. So the Constitutional Council cannot come in and rule in an issue of the party, which is an internal issue. Once that internal issue is settled by the court, the Constitutional Council recognized by the court order as a legitimate institution which has officially stamped out that this is this person. Now the Constitutional Council will rule based on that legitimate issue, which means that the issue of internal wrangling go to the normal court and go and settle that one. Once you have settled that one, we are looking at now the issue of what that court has ruled as an institution, and we'll follow it. And that was why you see the Lekam lawyer talked about the fact that this is a vehicle and fine, which has to be removed and go to a mechanic, and the mechanic fix it. Once the mechanic fix it now, before it gets back to the road. So you don't expect that a vehicle which is not well functioning well should be pushed along the road, pushed over a long distance, it will cause traffic and may also lead to further accidents of other vehicles. So that was a simple case, like the case of Cabral Libi. It was also clear a court had ruled, not one, not two. We have had two rulings. Which means that the Constitutional Council see that these are state institutions that recognize, because this is may not recognize a party, the leader of the party. If there's internal wrangling, you go to court. Once the court gives the order, the court now sends it back to Minat that this is the ruling. Minat takes and hold. If you want to apply for a position of a presidency, Minat just bring what the court has given, that there was a dispute, yes, but this was settled by the state institution that recognizes. Now, PCRN, it was clear because they had a ruling, Kuna could not do anything. A ruling has been done. The Constitutional Council was acting based on the court ruling. It's the opposite with that of Professor Maurice Kamto. And one thing that Professor Maurice Kamto's supporters fail to understand, and as I will explain it here again, is that the fact that you stand before a Constitutional Council in 2018, you attack the council from A to B to Z, all the members of the council, and you are still coming back to seek justice. It is clear that he who goes to equity must go with clean hands. Whether we like it or not, there's a certain level of emotionalism in all of us here sitting here. Even if you are in a particular position, a certain level, 0.00 level, which affects it, you cannot delegitimize a court in 2018. And I have said here in previous program that I have a problem with opposition parties. When they don't, it doesn't favor them, they go and say, "Oh, the election is rigged." Oh, now when an election is coming, they come back and say, "Let's go in for election." You have castigated the election that is rigged. They cannot organize fair and fair election. An election that is coming, you are still going back. What has changed from that riggedness of the election? And now this one that you are going in now for the election, and that's why you see we still have voters apathy, because you discourage people that no, we are not going in for any election. They don't go. Oh, the system is rigged. It's okay. Now elections come, you say, okay, I want to go. What has changed for that? It means you are wishy-washy. In America, they call you a wishy-washy person. Like we sing in Bamenda, go for before, for back. As you are going for before, for back, you are not moving, you are stationed. So my view on this is that Professor understood this very well. And I frown at politicians relying on the vulnerability of Cameroonians to pass a message. And I'll quote a clear example. The fact that you don't like the current regime doesn't mean that whatever the current regime say is wrong. The fact that I don't like it, let us use our reason than emotion. Example was the issue of when the former minister was stopped from going to Dakar. Cameroonians say, "Oh, what happened, minister?" The minister of communication came and gave a logical reasoning, which we saw.
No, that letter from the Minister of Communication was fake, eh?
Okay, okay.
It was fake.
Let's if the minister comes and give a reason, you understand that sometimes we bring emotions. And I appeal to Cameroonians. Some are saying that, "Oh, you know what, if there's no this, there's no election," and I laugh, and I told them, you have not seen what is happening in the Northwest. Those who have not lived the reality of a crisis will never wish that for another country. And I give an example, and I always ask them, show me one nation that has actually carried out what you people are proposing on the field and has succeeded. One. Is it Sudan? There's an active civil war in Sudan now. They said Ahmad Bashir had been there for 30, 50 years. They chased away Bashir. Bashir went. Sudan is divided into fractions now. More than 100,000 people have been killed in Sudan. More than.
I mean 13,000 rather. 13,000 people have been killed in Sudan. Look at Libya. What has changed? Look at Syria. They say, oh, Bashar has gone now. There's a rebel leader now in charge. What has changed? The only thing that can change is that go cast your ballot, say no to manipulations, because a lot of manipulation is going on. They will tell you that the government is this, yes, but the issue is, what does the law state? In this issue of the ruling of Professor Maurice Kamto, it's a lesson for politicians and aspiring politicians to understand that if you have a road that is easy, follow it. If you have a road that is easy, if you don't follow it, don't take a difficult road, because we're in a system which has been there for 43 years. They know the Rakosi, they know where and how to hold you. When Professor Maurice Kamto go left, they say strategy. He goes like this. When we say it's wrong, it's strategy. Now he goes like strategy. The pure strategy. Now when he declared the candidacy under Manidem, Hoila fell on Zolo. Man, we have seen how when the Zolo, when you did a Zolo, you went to the pole, you could not score because the goalkeeper was vigilant and caught the ball. You did a Zolo, you clapped, but the defender was there waiting for you to come. So at the end of the day, let us ask ourselves the question: are we politically emotional, or are we reasoning based on the fact on the ground?
Okay.
And my conclusion on this issue, dear Cameroonians, don't be fooled there. Go and vote. If you cannot vote, stay quietly.
Okay, go and vote. If you cannot vote, stay quietly. According to you want to add
yes,
to?
I want to add something as we were talking about Manidem. Another party that is like Manidem is also the UPC, where they have a lot of fraction and problem in court.
We are going to come to that after this other report by Bo Elvis.
Other cases have been examined today at the level of the Constitutional Council. We had Shewa David of the MPCN political party, whose candidacy was rejected by Elections Cameroon. He brought the matter at the level of the Constitutional Council. The Constitutional Council, after deliberation, decided to reject the candidacy of the MPCN. The MPCN had two candidates who were claiming to be presidential candidates for the political party. All their candidacies have been rejected.
I'm going to meditate with God, and together I think all of us, the opposition's leaders that are here, that our candidacy has been disqualified, we'll sit together, we'll consent and see, because in all the 13 candidates, all of them are people working with the regime. But since we want to liberate this nation, we will prefer better you that is working with the regime. We can still decide to give you that mandate. I will talk with Kamto. I will talk to other leaders. Let us unanimously decide who should support. And on supporting this, move for change, but Cameroon needs a change, and the change must come.
It was the same case with the Union de Population de Cameroon, UPC, as three candidates brought forth their candidacies in this presidential election. The Constitutional Council, based on their logic of multiple investitures or multiple nominations, decided to reject the candidacies of the UPC.
You have a candidate of UPC, which is loved by all the country, but you come and take another person who have never been a military. Even in another party, you bring in to fight me. You have two like that. If it is like in UPC, what do you think about all those
other opposition?
Yes, they think they are open.
Do you think
I will not join an opposition which have not proved me that you do not show evidences. That is real and opening. Okay? Just we can choose some signs, we can get to them in the history of the person, in his life, in what he says and what he makes. He does, okay?
At the level of the PCRN, Robert Kona challenged Cabral Libi's candidacy. Here, at the level of the Constitutional Council, the Constitutional Council has rejected Robert Kona's candidacy, and Cabral Libi will be candidate in the upcoming presidential election. Other hearings are ongoing right here, but of course, the hall is almost empty, as most media men and women have left the courtroom, as the bone of contention or the key focus for most media men and women was the case of Professor Maurice Kamto and Jodode Yebka. Right here at the Constitutional Council, for my Media Prime Television, Bo Elvis and Serge Biwole reporting.
Thank you very much, Bo Elvis, reporting there from the Constitutional Council in Yaoundé. He already has been raising. We get Shewa, who is saying that, okay, he's going to consult with Professor Maurice Kamto to know what next to do.
This is why some other political leaders, they still make mistakes. When people are not, when they don't see in your same direction, you call them or you tag them that they are non-opposition. Is there a school for opposition leaders? So I think let us be objective. Everybody has a political vision. If you decide to be extremist, radical in doing your politics, so be it. But allow those who are maybe neutral, moderate, exercise their own right. While is it that when they are not going their own way, you say no, they have been working with the regime. They are accusing this person that he's working with the regime. No, that's not the way politics should be played. He knows very well that he has not built his fire well, or he did not fulfill the conditions, but still he goes to the Constitutional Council. When the verdict is given, he now starts accusing the Constitutional Council. Okay, if you know that this institution will not favor you, don't even go there. That is why I appreciate people like the CPP, who went for presidential election once and saw the rigging and everything and decided that no, I will not still participate in these elections, and she has been standing her ground. That is politics. She took a position and she's standing her grounds. Those are the type of politicians I want to see. Not that today you say, oh, the rules are not good. You tomorrow when there's election you are going. No, mean that you are going there for your own personal interest. And that's what I told my former party. That is why I stood to challenge the leadership of the party before I was expelled. I said no. You decided not to go in for elections in 2015, which was legitimate. You are right. I accept. Two conditions or some conditions you put on the table. There is a crisis in North and Southwest. It concerns local election. People will not vote. Yes, I accept. They have embezzled money for the African Nations Cup. Yes, I accept. They should investigate. They have embezzled money for COVID. Yes, I accept. They should investigate. The electoral code was not good because that is what caused the post-electoral crisis. Yes, I accept. Okay, stand your grounds on those points. Make sure that you fight for those issues to be resolved. From that time till now, what has changed in the electoral code? The same Constitutional Council that we are going before it today, has it changed? Maybe one or two members that they replaced. But who is replacing them? The same leader that you are fighting. So, to me, let us be consistent. We did a PCRN. We have been consistent. We went in for a first trial for the presidential election in 2018. And we did well for our first participation. From a movement that we called 11 million citizens, where the leadership of that party or the leadership of that movement thought that no, it is high time that we excite young Cameroonians to massively register, believing that if we are able to have that critical mass, we'll be able to overthrow the dynamics. And that is the vision that we are having today. That is why you see in 2018 it didn't work well for us. We did not engage ourselves into unnecessary riot. We said no. 2020 we will go for local elections, and I think the performance are there. 5 parliamentarians, we have councils, which already was not bad as a first trial. We did not just stop at that. After that, we put up a program, a vision on what we think we can do. For example, issue of communal federalism can be used to resolve the Anglophone crisis, because we want to use the people of the community to be able to manage their resources, solve their problems. And that is the vision that we want to set to Cameroonians today. There are so many things. Education, we have issues. Health-wise, we have things to say. Security, we have things to say. So we believe that yes, the electoral code is not all correct. We agree. We encourage people to massively register during the registration process. We told Cameroonians that no, yes, we know. You say that you don't trust the regime. Oh, the regime is not transparent. Yes, but go and register. If all of us, if all of us would register, for example, and we had increased the rejected, do you think that if all that 11 million people go and vote, and we sit on this table like us, 4 of us, and say no, we had voted Cabral Libi, for example, you see that all of us cannot vote Cabral Libi, and then they want to present us somebody else. Just that pressure. Just that pressure. Yes. Everybody will say no, I voted this, and even the regime at times maybe will panic. So we have our own strategy to see how to overthrow the regime, and that's what we are into. We are trying to find that critical mass, and I think that change is imminent. The political leaders who have not been helping us, they should not just be castigating and say that these are not opposition leaders. No, we are opposition leaders. It's the way, their own ways and not our ways. Instead of you doing that, or maybe telling your militants not to go and vote, because if you tell your militants, for example, not to go and vote, you are indirectly endorsing the other person. So mean that you yourself, we should also be tagging you to be working for the regime. So instead, try to endorse somebody and say, okay, since we all want change, let us all rally behind this person, we overthrow him, and then maybe we'll redistribute the.
Okay, you were struggling to relate what is not right with the UPC, like he said, Boevis.
Yes, you see, all we are talking about problems in court is very complicated for a constitutional council to take a decision. You see a party like the UPC. The UPC is divided into 2 camps, and they are in court.
In 3?
In 3 camps, they are in court. Then the funniest thing at the Constitutional Council is not only about seeing those various sections in court, but there are sections that have 2 candidates and they are in front of the Constitutional Council. That is, there are many sections. Then you see a section in front of the Constitutional Council. Among the 3, 1 section is in front of the Constitutional Council. That was Baebek and Yam Bipo. Now, when you have 2 people in a fraction, 2 people are still fighting again in the fraction.
Abdurrahman is bad, yes.
Abdurrahman is there with the other person, Belegal court. Those are the various people. And they are also in their own fraction. So realize that in the 3 fractions, the fraction that they are there is not even 1 candidate, they are double candidate in a fraction. So what do we expect the Constitutional Council to do? So I still think that these political parties know very well the decision of the Constitutional Council before going there. So for me, I don't see it as a problem. But the truth is that politics is a religion, as I will put it, where people believe in ideology. The same way that Christians will believe in Jesus Christ, that's the same way you will see it in politics, where there are some, like for us in the CPGM, anything we do, we need to thank the head of state, the president of the republic. That's our religion. We have, like for instance, the MLC. They believe them in Kamto.
That's their religion.
It's their religion. If Kamto took MLC with 1 parliamentarian and many councillors, and after some few years, he brought the party from up to down with 0 elected officials, there are people that will clap that he is correct. It's their religion. If people were arrested with Kamto and Kamto said, I will not come out of prison without everybody, and they opened the door for him alone, he came out and abandoned the rest, it's a religion. The people still clap for him because they believe he is doing the right thing. The same person that went in for election in 2018, all his militants were behind him. He decided in 2018 that the militants themselves that wanted to go for municipal and legislative election, that they should not go. They still believe in him. And today in 2025, he wants to be presidential candidate. There is no way. He decided to abandon that party. Those in 2020, they stayed. Some went. Some believe in him. That, okay, we'll wait for 2026. But he cannot wait for 2032. So he decided to abandon and go to Manidem. And there are still people that are still clapping that he is very, very correct. It's their religion. They believe in their leader. And that's the way it is. So I understand them, but I conclude to say that is the sweetness of democracy, where people believe in supporting their leader, believing in supporting the ideology of their party. But the question is, why did Professor Maurice Kamto not go maybe to the UDC to talk with Madame Damjoya, where it is a party that is clear? Now, let me bring this analysis. Even if there is no Congress, you go and say a president of the party, and he signs that he should be candidate. in front of the Constitutional Council, even if militants of that party are complaining, they need to go to court. And the Constitutional Council will not have that time. The same with the case of Minister Issa Chiruma. So if he could have gone to these parties, maybe to UMS of Pierre, it could have happened, but I'm shocked.
Or UDC.
Oh, yeah, UDC of Ndamjoya already said it. So
FDC.
yes. So my own problem now is that I'm shocked that him, as a professor in law, a lawyer, a former minister, delegate of justice, he should know all this. And so at times I just conclude to say that anyway, maybe he knows the game he is playing and what he's after. But what is important is that
many people see the judgment also as politically motivated, that the government was bent.
That is religion. That is what his supporters will say. That's what I say, that politics is religion. There are some people that will say anything that is done is wrong.
Don't you think there was a cabal against Professor Maurice Kamto?
No, I don't think there was a cabal on the ground. Remember, there's an issue of fact and emotions. Emotionally, you may not like the law. It is your right not to like the law. But pragmatically, it is a law. And it will apply.
Don't you believe that Yebga was brought into this whole issue simply because they wanted Professor Maurice Kamto out?
The question is, Yebga, is the issue between Yebga and Anita Nikane in court? Yes. Before the 2025, is the issue still in court? Yes. Now, was there a court judgment? No. Sometimes you can sit and fold your arms and tell the person that I'm waiting for you. Just be doing like a woman. You are a legal person. A man and a woman living there are not officially divorced. The man send the woman away. The woman goes away. You don't think the fact that you are not officially divorced, the woman is still your wife. It's still your wife. You will not say that, no, I've not had any sexual intercourse with her for 7 years. She abandoned me. She did it with. You are not divorced. Legally, she may not be performing the matrimonial duty. But according to the law, you people are still together. And that was why the Constitutional Council consider him, Elekam consider him as still a member of that party. Because at the end of the day, there have not been a legal explanation, and the only person or institution that could have resolved this is the Ministry of Territorial Administration that has the birth certificate. And if they resolve it and you say you are not happy, you go to court, and the court will overrule what the ministry has given, because the ministry is not superior to the court. The court is superior to the ministry in interpreting the law.
Yeah, but
to add regard to this, when you are a politician, you have opponent. You are supposed to strategize and not give an opportunity for an opponent to defeat you. If Kamto could have gone for election, where would we be hearing about Yebga and the rest? He made a mistake. The problem is that in politics, when you make a mistake, you accept that mistake and you re-strategize and move ahead. The SDF did it, and at the end, Nijon Funi was very, very honest to come out and say they will never ever boycott an election again, because they realized that it was a mistake. But with the case of MSA, they don't want to accept that it was a mistake. They keep on supporting their leader to the extreme.
I want us to look at some of the persons who were rejected at level of Elekam with very glaring justifications. Absence of certified copy of birth certificate. They are not paid the 30 millions. They lack almost everything, yet they went up to the Constitutional Council. Is this not a joke?
No, a serious joke. Just to tell you how serious Cameroonians have become. How do you know that? I think there should have even been a sanction for behaving that way. You cannot compile a file knowing very well, especially for the high office of the President of the Republic, and you go there trying to make fun of it. I think we should be thinking in the days ahead of seeing how to punish even legally such kind of persons. You cannot build a file you don't have. Maybe a birth certificate in the file. Then what are you going? Is it a showbiz? Has the Presidency of the Republic turned to a showbiz, or where you have to go and portray yourself on cameras? No. You don't pay the cushion, the required cushion. See, if you want to be president, that's making the office unserious. And I think that is a serious problem, and it did not send a message, it did not say a good message to the outside world that the office of the President of the Presidency of the Republic has been balkanized. So I think that we should, in due course, review those conditions and make sure that before you even warn Cameroonians that before you come to deposit your file, make sure that you fulfill the conditions and that you should show some seriousness in the application file.
Yes, were you surprised? It looked like a joking matter.
I think I will align partially what Barrister is saying, and that's why you put a politician to municipal elections are coming. Law should be made such that this issue should not repeat itself, because they are taking advantage of the law, the void of the law. As long as there is no legal issues or implication that sanctions such behavior, it means that in the next election, 300 million Cameroonians, 3,000 Cameroonians can go and deposit the documents and still go to the Constitutional Council and challenge it. But there's something also, like we were discussing last week, that issues like this people use it for various reasons. One, to come to the limelight. Two, to also make probably increase their political beat for future election. And three, maybe they have their personal reason, like for the man of, I think is Pepsi or Refer. And he used it to make the nation know that he has been having issues with his salary for 4 years. And it is now that many people got to understand his reason. Probably to him, it could not be that political beat. He had to go to the Constitutional Council and explain that for 4 years he has not been paid. He was sanctioned. He was punished and reinstated. But his salary has not been paid till now, and he has been up and down. And I'm sure that it is now that many people understand that the Ministry of Secondary Education should look into the matter. So he strategically used the moment based on the voidness of the law. And you see the man in Boyandong, he also went to the Constitutional Council. Maybe he's looking for a very important position in his village. After that, he still will write that he was at the Constitutional Council, he defended his case, and legal persons will use it in school to teach.
What does he say? that they should give him time to go and look for his documents. What is that?
That's part of the law.
What I say? What law? Where you come and tell the court that you were attacked, your documents were taken, and that they should give you time. That they should hold the process so they should go and. What are you talking about?
I'm saying that it is the voidness of the fact that there are no legal penalties on this issue. It's so lax. That is why we pray that in the next upcoming municipal legislative election, lawmakers will go to parliament and take this issue as a priority, such that in the next 2032, because it's an eye-opener, it's not that many Cameroonians are knowing that everybody could have gone and deposited a file. In 2018, we do not have this. We do not have this issue where people, now many Cameroonians are getting interested. Hey, so anybody could deposit. Wait, in 2032, God willing, if this issue is not resolved, you will see the number of Cameroonians that will flood Elekam offices. People.
The gentleman that was complaining about that money has been given an appointment with the Minister of Finance on Friday, so that the issue regarding his money should be looked into and solved. So maybe it's an advantage to him. But there is one sad issue that many people don't know with regards to all these documents. They don't pay for them. With regards to this document, I don't know if you've gone in for an elected position, but they don't pay. If you are going to do, you just write there Elekam. That is going to Elekam, they sign everything. So that's one thing that people should know. So if they, yes, free of charge. So if they did not actually do this, it's a greater sign of irresponsibility on their part. The worst is you want to become a president and you cannot have a certificate of non-conviction. It is easy for somebody to even interpret that maybe you're an ex-convict if you don't even have the document of non-conviction, document of nationality. And these documents are very, very simple to even have them. But there is also, you know, being in the CPDM, there are some aspects that when we see that at least it's difficult. Many people had the problem with regard to the payment of 30 million. Actually, that 30 million really, if something is looked into, then it will be very, very good. And another aspect too is the issue of having those signatures. To have 30 signatures in all the regions, at times it is a handicap for independent persons that want to go in for the presidential seat. Now, when there is a problem why all these documents were accepted, is that if it is said that everybody should deposit his document in all divisions or maybe regional headquarters, and they create commissions in those regional headquarters, people may face what the Frenchman call règlement du compte, where somebody can decide to reject your document because he or she does not want you. So you realize now that to avoid this, Elecam decided that, okay, let all documents be collected in the national territory and brought in Yaoundé, where the committee can sit there and, you know, analyze them. Because analyzing the document on arrival or during depositing, the person that is there may decide to give any complaint and reject your document. So to avoid that, it was agreed that all of them should be presented, accepted all, and all of them validated. And of course, we have the Constitutional Council, which is the powerhouse, to be able to look into it. Now, those that didn't do this is just a sign of irresponsibility. Even why is Mr. Passing, as they call him, even though he has an appointment to look at the issue of his money, but it is sad that he will say he could not do maybe a non-conviction, or even to sign the undertaking with the Constitutional Council that you need to sign to accept any decision taken by that institution. Even birth certificate, these people could not present. This simply means that they were just insulting the process. And to talk about this is really sad that we even have mature personalities like a musician in Cameroon, in Douala, that is well known, when and deposited this document incomplete, even without birth certificate and the rest. So when we see all these things, I just say that is an act of irresponsibility and unconsciousness by these same people. But the truth is that we are in democracy and they have their rights and they have executed their rights. So that is where it becomes complicated. So I think at this level, we should be giving much more of educational and political education to sensitize the people, so that next time somebody will not even sit in the house and just get up in the morning, goes to Elecam, and when he's being interviewed on TV, the wife and the children are confused that we were with our father in the morning, we did not know that is where he was going to. So that's a sad reality, and I believe that maybe a powerful decision should be taken so that at the end we should not face that in our nation.
Okay, now what next for this? Because now we are very sure of those who are running for the presidential elections. We are going to have 12 candidates and not 13. Zipan was rejected today, so we're going to have 12 and not 13. What should happen to those who have been rejected as we speak?
Firstly, let me talk about Zipan. Yes, that's true.
Yes. To me, what should happen is that they should accept. Not all is not yet lost. Maybe meet together or decide in their individual quarters and say, okay, among those who are running, which one is credible, which one has a political plan that aligns the same vision that we have. Encourage others to join, because whether we like it or not, it is good. If we go as a coalition, we'll send a strong message. The force will be there. But if we decide to go individually, we may have some obstacles. But it is not a panacea. It's not that people must come together before we overthrow the regime. No. Senegal did not go through a coalition to overthrow the regime. Just that there was that critical mass.
The Gambia, when Yahya Jammeh was
good. So you see,
ballot.
Good. So the problem is Cameroonians should come out massively on that day and exercise their with him. No, if I'm supporting Cabral, it's because he has a political program. I think that with him we can do things together. If there are other candidates, because today we have other candidates that we have not even seen before. Many people are saying that
they are not even declared. They just declare. You just saw
so some of those candidates, to me, I think they are fantasists. So we should be. I think Cameroonians are more matured and we are more knowledgeable enough, and I believe that it is not emotions that should carry us. Reason should carry us. Let's look objectively who can do the job, who has already done something and we have seen. To me, you will say I'm talking too much of my party. Cabral has done something we have seen. This is somebody started from the university, had a vision of putting in place a movement. from the movement, he has been able to go in for election, came out third. With that as a result, went in for legislative and municipal, came out with parliamentarian, came out with municipal councillors. He has been working on the field. He has been visiting the region, living the sufferings of Cameroonians. So why would not all of us, why should we all of us cast our votes to him? I'm not supporting him because I'm from the same tribe with him. I'm not supporting him because I'm expecting something. I already have my own job. All I want is that we want change, and I believe that through him the change can come. He has the energy. He can tour the regions every day to solve the problems of Cameroon. He has lived the realities. So why should we not, for example, cast our vote towards that kind of a person? Many people are saying, oh, he's a person of the regime. You say he's a person of the regime. What office has he occupied in the regime that says he's a person of the regime?
Okay. What do you expect from those who files have been rejected so far? We know that we have 12 files. Yeah.
You see, many of those that their file has been rejected, the law for President Paul Biya, I just want to be clear on this platform, many of them will support President Paul Biya. And among those that have been accepted, that we have all seen, some will still support President Paul Biya. It should not come as a shock. You see, after all my years of doing politics, I've come to understand that the Cameroonian people love President Paul Biya. I will give you people this example. Cameroonians will shout that we want change, we want change. But when you say, okay, fine, let us vote Cabral, they'll tell you that no, he's CPDM, he's CPDM. When you say, let us vote this, they'll say, no, we cannot vote him. His father built a prison. When you say, let us vote this, they'll say, no, he's tribe. At the end, they are just saying that we love President Paul Biya more than them. That's my conclusion. Call one candidate today, and you see the critics that will come out everywhere. This is just to prove and show that many of them love President Paul Biya. But in general analysis,
if they must do anything, the only way that they must go through is unity, and that unity must keep away personal grudges, personal insult. Let me quote, for example, what happened in America. In 2016, President Trump left the Democrats, went to the Republican Party to pick nomination. In the Republican Party, he insulted his way through the nomination. But today, he's working with the people he insulted. They kept aside their differences. Marco Rubio is the Secretary of State of America. He insulted Marco Rubio. You have this other Senator Ted Cruz. He insulted Ted Cruz, but he's one of his best men. And so let us also look at issues where, if you think that so-and-so candidate may have insulted you and you are not taking part in the election, please keep away that insult, because all of them, one thing about them is that all of them share one common language. Pastor Tamfu and any other opposition party share one common language. The roads are not good. Electricity is epileptic. Justice is not being gotten easily. It's not like there's no justice. There is, but it is limping. It depends on the circumstances. Let me not say now, because before I bring my matter to court, I said there's no justice. There's justice in some area. Also, we look at the healthcare system. They share the same common value that the healthcare system needs a lot of reformation. They share the same common value. In fact, even they share that same common value even with CPDM members about the issue of roads. Because Senator Melamewuki talked about the issue of road 7 months ago. He said, what are we going to tell the people when campaign comes? And behold, campaigns have come. That the issue of roads. The Minister of Territorial Administration was in the north. He personally drove for 7 hours, and he said the road is bad, that I will write a special report and send to the head of state about the issue of roads. The Honorable Minister of Secondary Education was in Bamenda. She said, let us not make promises that we cannot keep. So you people share the same value. But now, the opposition wants to go now on the issue of not personal interest, because these are the things that unite us. If we focus on that, we say, okay, if it's Cabral Libi, let us pick Cabral Libi. If it is this person, let us pick this person. And KJ has said something very important. Cameroonians have proven beyond any reasonable doubt, whether you agree with me or not, that they love President Paul Biya. Because you cannot claim that I don't love President Paul Biya. Elections are coming, they say go and register. You say if you register, they will steal the election. Some of those in 10 who say they will not vote because they will steal it, in 10, only 2 have voters card. Of those 2 that have voters card, only about 1 may have voted in any recent election. That is my survey that I've conducted. If you dispute me, come with your own data. The other issue, they say, oh, it is Clement appointed by the head of state. Oh, this was appointed by the head of state. No nation in this world where election commissioners are not appointed by the president. No nation. Call me one. The only difference may be on the vetting system that you nominate this organ vet. But believe me, even in the vetting, they say overwhelming influence in the vetting. No nation on earth here that the observers, those who are actually giving the verdict, are coming from space or angel. No nation, all of them are appointed by the incumbent. No nation. Let us tell Cameroonians the truth. The one thing about our opposition is that they tell you that this man was appointed by President Pobia, he will not give justice. And let me give you dictatorial nations that have had victory on the ballot. Yaya Jammeh in the Gambia. Yaya Jammeh ruled with an iron fist. But what happened? The people went massively and voted. The pressure was overwhelming. The votes were serious, and they won the election. Let us go in 2015 in Nigeria. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was the incumbent. Who appointed the INEC commissioner? Goodluck Jonathan. Who appointed Supreme Court? Goodluck Jonathan. Who appointed members who coordinated the election? Goodluck Jonathan. He was seeking re-election, but did he win? No. Muhammadu Buhari defeated him. How? Because the pressure, millions went to vote. Let's keep that aside. Let us look at recent example in what happened also in Senegal when Macky Sall and Faye, they tic-tac. What happened was that 9 million additional voters were added on the list. And that was the pressure that the Constitutional Council Senegal saw and told Macky Sall that we cannot extend a mandate based on what is on the ground because voters registration has tremendously increased. And if we do that, no matter how wealthy we are, the nation will descend into chaos. That is the pragmatic solution, as Barrister Tambu said. The bigger the number, the difficult it is to rig. But you are there, oh, they will still. Call me one nation that have had an election which has been totally free. In America, we saw in 2020 when President Trump said it was rigged, and we saw there were some issues about irregularities. No system is perfect, and they keep quoting 1992. And I say that the civil society is not educating our voters very well. 1992 was the first reintroduction of multi-party presidential election, which we were prone to make mistakes. We were prone to understand the system. After we came out, we went through that first mistake, people just gave up. We should not give up. At the end of the day, all of us will come and go. Cameroon will remain Cameroon. As in French, it is always sung that va debout de ta liberté.
Okay, we are moving towards the end of tonight's edition of the program. Barrister, what should be the next stage for those who are going? Do you still stand on the fact that you can still go as PCRN, the SDF goes as SDF, and be able to be these guys?
No, it is, for example, within the PCRN, it is our wish that we form a coalition. But you know that
everybody,
if you have to come for a coalition, you should be ready to lose something. You should be ready to accept the strength of your opponent. To say, okay, if I'm going with this person, it's because I believe he has this strength, and we should accept it. It's only when people want to take personal egos that the coalition may not happen. But I'm happy that these days I've been seeing some political parties who have been accepted joining hands. I saw something that happened in Fumban. They went from Fumban, they went to Sokojo, and I think all the message was telling them that you people make a good force if you come together. So we too, we are in the same dynamics to encourage that kind of a coalition. But just that you are not coming to impose. You are coming for us to sit down and discuss and have a common strategy. Because if you come for the coalition and you start imposing that, no, I want to lead the coalition, then rest assured that the person who has much to give in the coalition will tell you that, no, what are you bringing in? So let us have this objective mind. Even if all of us, what is the common point among all of us is that we are not happy with the system, we want change. Yes, it is agreed. Even if the change has to come from somebody that we do not love, let us accept to vote that person. It's not everybody that will accept to vote Kabra Libi. But to me, I believe that's a credible choice we have now, and which is even more objective. The other political leaders we have seen, with the other opposition political leaders, we know what they have done. We have seen their weaknesses. We know who can carry. Is there a better chance than Kabra Libi now? You were talking about President Paul Biya. I don't see him to be a better chance. He has served Cameroonians already for so long. He has given all what he could give. I think it's high time that he should think of the statement that he said When the time comes for him to go to the village, he will go to the village. And the time to go to the village has come. Let him retire honorably and let the new generation take the lead. I am sure that Cameroon will not stop after Paul Biya. Paul Biya will go and Cameroon will continue. So let him stand to be that wise father to accept a younger generation and give us the necessary guide that he's supposed to do. That's the legacy that we expect somebody like President Paul Biya to give. I would have loved that maybe the party should have projected Kedia. Yes, maybe at that time now I would have changed my code to say, okay, let us vote for Kedia. But coming here and saying that people love President Paul Biya, I don't think people love him. He has instead been hijacked. People don't love him. People hide behind him to do their audience. We all know this is 7 years that has passed. How many times have you seen President Paul Biya? Okay, elections are coming. Will he go to the field? I'm expecting him on the field to come and campaign. Let him come to the field and let's do the campaign together and let's see if actually he will be able to convince Cameroonians. So people should not hide behind him to be projecting him and saying that no, he's the only candidate. He's the only candidate. No, even within the CPGM, I think a better candidate than him can also come. But you have just decided to punish an old man because that's punishment. You don't want him to go and retire. I think everybody deserves rest. So to me, I will invite my friend Kedia that he should carry this message to the CPDM that it is not late for them to recognize that, or even tell yes, maybe let us change you and put in Kedia because he's tired. I'll be happy to have an opponent with whom I could sit down and we'll discuss political issues.
Okay, Kedia, the CPDM certainly is going to now flex muscles since they have been cleared of every charge before the Constitutional Council and then focus on these elections.
Yes, permit me to greet Honorable Cabral Libi. That said very clearly that for him to form an alliance with MLC, he better support President Paul Biya because he knows what President Paul Biya has. He knows it. And that's why I said that he's love. I think when you look at everything, you realize that he's love. And even the retirement, you are saying that he should decide to go. How would he go when the nation is crying? Le pleur de peuple. Even the frustration that some of you people, the opposition, you are even giving the people, many of them will still vote for President Paul Biya. Because the opposition, when you look at the way you people insult, fight among yourself, when you even do that, you even give us more voters. That being said, before I talk about our plans also of the CPDM, as Mr. Kum Leonard asks, I want to say this in the opposition. The problem in the opposition is that candidates want massive support, but they don't want an alliance. What do you mean by massive support? Like you will see in the CPDM, J20, right? Where political parties will just come out and support President Paul Biya. You will see more Minister Jean de Dieu Momo, he has his party, right? Because he was appointed, he just decided that his party will support President Paul Biya. That's our support. That is why if Barrister, you can remember vividly, you will accept that Honorable document the accord for the alliance and presented it to Professor Maurice Kamto. What did he do? He rejected it. That he does not want it. He wants an open support. Now, where the confusion is coming from is because Cameroonians don't understand what is open support, what is an alliance, what is a coalition. They mix everything, and even the politicians themselves with little knowledge in political science, they are confused. Because when you talk about an alliance, it simply means that they will sit and have an accord. Let me make another example. Massive support. Let me bring the case of the CPDM. Massive support. We have Minister Issa Cheruma, his party decided to support. Jean de Dieu Momo, the J20. We have, the CPDM have an alliance with the UDC of Bello Buba Maigari. And there is an accord written.
NUDP, not UDC.
Thank you, NUDP. They have an accord and it is signed. That is why Bello Buba came out plain to say that with that accord, it does not stop him from becoming to become a presidential candidate. There is an accord. That's an alliance. And that is why in that alliance they sign, they agree on a coalition government. That is why today Minister Bello Buba is in the government and is a minister of state. It's because of a coalition that they have.
Okay.
Because a coalition is the outcome of an alliance.
Okay.
And an alliance is different from open support. So which one are the oppositions even looking for? They don't know.
Okay, we are launching, we are going to continue discussing about the ongoing political evolutions in Cameroon with respect to the 2025 presidential election. I'm sure declarations are going to be made tomorrow. I've already read what Yebga has said. Chidune Yebga, he says he's disappointed that his candidacy got rejected by the Constitutional Council. He regrets it. I don't know why you guys no, please, we are out of the time. But also Mamadou Mota, who is the interim president of the CRM, has also issued a statement saying, regretting the fact that Professor Maurice Kamto's candidacy was rejected. I'm sure many more persons are going to come up this night or tomorrow. We're going to analyze them tomorrow on this program. But the big news we are giving out here from My Media Prime TV tonight is that we are launching the My Media Prime Viewers Choice Awards. The My Media Prime Viewers Choice Awards. Those of you who are watching My Media Prime from morning till night, wow, we want to distinguish and celebrate the best institutions in Cameroon, the best politicians in Cameroon, the best schools in Cameroon. And this evening, though tomorrow we are formally going to launch it, we are starting with the vote for the best private university in Cameroon. If you are watching us, we want you to send the voting code of your school to one of these numbers. The SMS is 652 543 145, Orange 640 15 40 40, and a code is going to be sent to you. And the schools that are competing for the best private university in Cameroon, we have the Kali University Institute of the Diocese of Boya. The code is 1. Biaka University Boya has the code 2. Himat University has the code 3. ICT University Yaoundé has code 4. Hype University has code 5. ESG Douala has code 6. You get code 7. Institute University code 8. We have St. Bernard University Institute. Code 9. We have National Polytechnic University. Code 10. That is in Bamenda. Kali University of Cameroon, Bamenda. Code 11, you have Université de Montagne, Bagante. Code 12, you have the Shitekma University in Boya. Code 13, Siantu University Institute. Code 14, Landmark Metropolitan University, Boya. Code 15, we have the St. Louis University. Code 17, and we have Formic Polytechnic University. Code 18, you have FIPMAT University. Code 19, Alpha Higher Institute. Code 20, and the Istama Institut Supérieur, code 21. So we are putting these schools in competition, this private university in competition. You are going to write to us. We'll send you the code to be able to vote, so that at the end, 2 weeks, we are going to vote the best, according to you, the best private university in Cameroon. So tomorrow we are going to make it official, and directives are going to be given to you on how to vote, either on using a text or WhatsApp, and on social media. Thank you guys for coming. Barrister, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Kum Leonard. The pleasure is all mine, and I expect that My Media Prime will be thinking about engaging us more into political talks with the upcoming presidential election, because this is only where we can come here and sell our political programs to our audience. So I look forward to having such invitations frequently.
We also hope that the PCRN is going to consider working, creating a better working condition with My Media Prime TV to be able to talk, especially to our brothers. Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure to be here. While you were reading the names of the university, I just thought in my mind to tell those that did not hear the name of their university to form a coalition and vote for one. And those that will be seeing you at the Constitutional Council, that you did not call the name of their university, they should understand that the law is the law and the selection has been done.
Okay, thank you for coming, Jarvis.
Thank you very much. The Choice Award is the next one, and it goes a long way to celebrate excellence. And I want to encourage the public to vote Code 1, the Catholic University in Boya.
Okay, so I've said 21 private universities were selected for this Viewers' Choice Award for My Media Prime TV. So you are going to be given instructions on how the voting process will take place using text messages or using WhatsApp and on our social media handles. The schools, get ready, and we see who comes out on top after 2 weeks. Tomorrow is another rendezvous. We're going to be looking at what is going to be happening, evolution. Are there persons who may want to go beyond the Constitutional Council? But to note that as the Constitutional Council has said, the mass is ended. Yes, all eyes are now. Yes, all eyes are. Yeah. Everybody has to work towards October 12th. 2025 for the elections. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.